Release stuck emotion in 10 minutes with the Sedona method. Hello, you amazing human. What if I told you that in the next 10 minutes, you could release any stuck emotion that's been weighing you down? That anxiety about work, that anger towards someone, that sadness that just won't shift, or that frustration that keeps bubbling up. What if you could let it go right now, completely naturally? Today we're exploring something called the Sedona method, a beautifully simple technique that's been helping people release emotional blocks for decades. I invite you to consider that every emotion you're holding on to is simply energy that's gotten stuck in your system. And just like water naturally flows downstream, emotions have a natural tendency to move through us and release when we stop gripping onto them. What makes this method so powerful is that it doesn't require you to analyse why you feel a certain way, or to understand where it came from, or to spend months processing it. It simply invites you to let go. And here's what's beautiful. Your natural state is peace and joy. When you release what's not meant to be there, you naturally return to who you really are. So here's what we're going to do together. I'm going to guide you through 5 rounds of the Sedona method. Each time I'll ask you to rate the intensity of your feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the most intense and 1 is barely noticeable. You might be surprised at how quickly the numbers drop as we work through this together. First, let me explain the simple process. We're going to ask ourselves 3 questions about whatever feeling you're experiencing. These questions might seem almost too simple, but I invite you to trust the process. The questions are, could I let this feeling go? Would I let this feeling go? And when? That's it. Simple but profound. Now, before we begin, I want you to think of something that's been bothering you lately. It could be anxiety about a situation, anger towards someone, sadness about something that happened, or any emotion that feels stuck. Don't choose your biggest trauma, just something that's been on your mind that you'd like to release. Got it? Good. Feel into that emotion right now. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it in your chest, your stomach, your shoulders? Really connect with the feeling. And now, give it a number from 1 to 10. How intense is this feeling right now? Really be honest with yourself. Remember that number. Round 1. Now, staying connected to that feeling, I'm going to ask you those 3 questions. And here's what's important. There's no wrong answer. Whether you say yes or no to any of these questions, you're doing it perfectly. First question, could I let this feeling go? Now, I'm not asking if you will let it go, or if you know how to let it go. I'm simply asking, could you? Is it possible? Even if you're not sure, the answer is usually yes. You could let it go even if you don't know how. Second question, would I let this feeling go? This is about willingness. Are you willing to let this feeling go? You might notice some resistance here. Your mind might say, but I need this anger to protect me. Or, but I have a right to feel this way. That's perfectly normal. Just notice what comes up. You can be willing to let it go, even if part of you wants to hold on to it. Third question, when? This is simple. When would you let it go? The answer that usually comes up is now. But if now doesn't feel right, you might say soon or when I'm ready. Trust whatever answer comes. Now just sit with this for a moment. Take a deep breath. You might notice the feeling shifting, or you might not. Both are perfect. Now thinking about that same situation or person, how intense is the feeling now? Give it a new number from 1 to 10. You might be surprised that it's already shifted a bit. Round 2. Let's go again. Even if the feeling has reduced, there might still be some there. Connect with whatever's left of that feeling. Where is it in your body now? How does it feel different from before? Could I let this feeling go? Remember, this is just about possibility. Is it possible to let it go? You might find this question feels easier now. Would I let this feeling go? Are you willing? You might notice that your willingness has increased, or you might notice new layers of resistance. Both are perfect. When? When would you let it go? Trust the first answer that comes. Breathe. Let whatever wants to happen, happen. You might feel a sense of relief or lightness, or you might just feel different. Check in with that feeling about the same situation. What number is it now? Round 3. Beautiful. Let's continue. Even if the feeling is much lighter now, there might still be some remnants. This is normal. Emotions often release in layers. Connect with whatever's left of that feeling. Could I let this feeling go? You might find this question feels almost obvious now. Of course you could. Would I let this feeling go? What's your willingness like now? You might notice that what felt difficult to release before now feels easier to let go of. When? When would you let it go? Take a moment. Breathe. You might notice a sense of spaciousness or peace, or just a different quality to your energy. Check in with that feeling again. What number is it now? Round 4. Let's do another round. You might think there's nothing left, but often there are deeper layers. Think about that same situation or person. Is there any charge left? Any tension? Any emotional reaction at all? Could I let this feeling go? Even if it's just a small remnant, could you let it go? Would I let this feeling go? Are you willing to let go of even this small bit? When? When would you let it go? Breathe into the space where that feeling used to be. You might notice a sense of neutrality or even compassion where there used to be upset. Check in again. What number is it now? Round 5. One more round. Think about that situation or person again. Really try to find any emotional charge. Sometimes we discover that what felt so heavy before now feels neutral, or we might even feel compassion or understanding. Could I let this feeling go? Even if there's barely anything there, could you let go of the last traces? Would I let this feeling go? Are you willing to let go completely? When would you let it go? Take a deep breath. Notice how you feel now. Think about that situation or person that was bothering you at the beginning of this video. What number is it now? You might be amazed at how much has shifted. What's beautiful about this method is that it reminds us that we have the power to let go. We don't need to carry emotional burdens that don't serve us. We don't need to wait for someone else to change or for circumstances to be different. We can choose to release what's not ours to carry. Now, you might be wondering, is it really that simple? And the answer is, yes, it can be. Your emotions are energy, and energy wants to move. When you stop holding on to it, it naturally releases. You might find that some emotions need several sessions to fully clear, especially if they've been with you for a long time. That's perfectly normal. I invite you to use this method whenever you notice you're carrying emotional weight that doesn't serve you. You might try it with different feelings: anxiety, anger, sadness, frustration, even seemingly positive emotions like excitement that might be masking anxiety. What you might discover is that underneath all these emotions is your natural state of peace and joy. When you release what's not meant to be there, you return to who you really are. And from that place of clarity and peace, you can respond to life's challenges with so much more wisdom and love. Remember, you don't have to carry emotional burdens that don't serve you. You have the power to let go. You have the power to choose peace. You have the power to return to your natural state of joy and freedom. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonates, drop a comment with any epiphanies. These videos are made as a guide to help you reconnect with knowledge kept within you. Take what resonates within you and release the rest. Follow the page for more content and sign up for the Patreon for the opportunity to ask more personal questions and also hear longer form answers to all the biggest questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep shining your light.